Welcome, everyone. Ready to dive into Bihar. We've got this excerpt from transfer doc underscore text underscore 20350317728824.txt. And I gotta say, even just glancing at this, Bihar is way more interesting than I realized.
Yeah, most folks don't realize how deep Bihar's history goes. It's like intertwined with India itself.
Not just like around back then, but really important, huh?
Oh yes, central. Absolutely. Think about the Mauryan Empire, one of the biggest, most powerful empires in ancient India, and their capital,
Okay, hit me with it.
Pataliputra, which today is Patna, smack dab in the heart of Bihar.
You know, we always hear about Rome, Constantinople, those big names. Never really thought about Pataliputra on that level. What made it so crucial?
Well, for one, emperors like Ashoka ruled from there. And his story, man, talk about a change of heart. Starts off ruthless conqueror, right? And bam, embraces peace, converts to Buddhism.
Wait, like a total 180.
Totally. From warrior king to champion of peace. And his edicts inscribed on pillars, rocks all over the empire, promoting nonviolence, tolerance, helping people. Pretty remarkable shift, don't you think?
It really is, yeah. Makes you wonder what sparked that.
And it wasn't just him, you know. Ashoka going Buddhist, it impacted the whole empire. He sent out like missionaries, built monasteries, as stupas, even went on pilgrimages himself.
So Buddhism's spreading out from there, from Bihar.
Big time. He'll make it a major religion, not just in India, but across Asia.
Wow. So Bihar is like Buddhism's origin story in a way.
It's not just Buddhism, though. Jainism, too. Vaishali, another city in Bihar. That was Mahavira's birthplace. He founded Jainism.
Hold on, two world religions from the same area. That's wild.
It really shows you how much intellectual, spiritual energy must have been there in ancient Bihar. A small region birthing these ideas that have influenced millions for centuries.
Like a fountain of thought just flowing outward from Bihar.
Exactly. And we haven't even gotten to their culture, the music, the dance, the art. It's all woven right into Bihar's identity.
Okay, well, let's not hold back. I'm ready to see what else Bihar's got. What about that music you mentioned?
Oh man, the music. They have this folk music, so soulful. The Bideshia songs, they're really something deeply rooted in Bhojpuri language, Bhojpuri culture.
Videsha, what's that like mean?
It means one who's away from home or a foreigner. These songs, they're often about separation, longing, the migrant experience. A lot of people from Bihar have moved to other parts of India, even the world. So these songs capture that feeling of love, loss, being away from home. It's really powerful.
Music carrying that feeling across distances. Amazing. And you mentioned something else before, those what were they, Chahafgit?
Yeah. The Chathki, those are something else, full of energy, joy. They're all about Chath Puja, Bihar's biggest festival. They worship the sun god Surya during Chath Puja.
Okay, gotta admit, Chath Puja, that's new to me.
It's a special festival, really connected to the land, the river, the whole agricultural life there in Bihar, honoring Surya, the sun god, for life, for the harvest. It's not just a religious thing. It's a celebration of nature's cycles, the bounty of the land.
So more than just ritual, it's how they live with nature in a way.
Yeah, exactly. A great example of how culture and respect for nature are all tied together.
It's really coming through, this connection to the land. So we've got these vibrant musical traditions, this unique festival. I'm seeing there's a whole lot more to Bihar than just, the history books.
Oh, we're just getting started. There's a whole world of art, traditions, daily life we haven't even touched on.
All right, then. Well, let's keep digging. Let's see what other treasures Bihar is hiding. We were just talking about Chath Puja and how it shows how connected Bihar is to the land, to nature's rhythms. It's pretty amazing how a festival can tell you so much. But I'm also curious about the art scene. What other creative stuff do they have in Bihar?
Well, you can't talk about Bihar's culture without mentioning Madhubani painting. It's been around for centuries.
Madhubani painting. Okay, I've heard the name, but that's about it. What's so special about it?
Imagine like super intricate patterns, vibrant colors, and scenes from everyday life, mythology, nature. It's all there in incredible detail. And the coolest part, they use natural pigments. Rice paste, turmeric, even stuff like flower extracts to make those colors.
So they're literally using the colors of their land to tell their stories.
Yeah, exactly. And those stories, they're fascinating. You'll see Hindu deities, scenes from the Ramayana, even just like everyday life in rural Bihar. It's a real window into their culture, their beliefs.
You said it's been around for centuries. So how has it survived, in the modern world?
It's a good question. A lot of traditional art forms have struggled. But Madhubani painting, it's actually having a revival. Artists are finding new ways to keep it alive. They're bringing in some contemporary themes, but still staying true to the heart of Madhubani, and it's getting recognized not just in India but internationally too.
That's so cool. This ancient art form finding new life, reaching new people. It's kind of inspiring. But let's shift gears for a sec. We've talked about all the history, the culture, but what about modern Bihar? What are some of the challenges they're facing?
Well, one of the biggest is the economy. Bihar has kind of lagged behind other Indian states when it comes to economic development. There's a few reasons: historical disadvantages, lack of infrastructure, not much industrial growth.
That lack of growth, is it because they don't have the resources or is there something else going on?
Resources are part of it, sure, but it's more than that. It's about attracting investment, encouraging entrepreneurship, creating a good environment for businesses. The good news is people are starting to realize this, and there's efforts being made to fix it.
So what are they doing to boost the economy?
There's a big focus on infrastructure, building better roads, getting electricity to more people, improving transportation. All that stuff's crucial for attracting businesses and helping the economy grow. They're also working on education, healthcare. Those are super important for the long term.
Sounds like they're laying the foundation for real lasting growth. What about specific sectors though? Where do they see the most potential for jobs, for expansion?
Agriculture is always going to be huge for Bihar. It's the backbone of their economy, but they're also looking at other things. Tourism, for example.
Makes sense. We've been talking about all these incredible historical sites, religious places, those vibrant festivals. There's a lot to see there.
Right, and they're trying to use that, developing tourist infrastructure, promoting heritage sites, creating like unique experiences that showcase Bihar's culture. And another area with potential is IT.
IT, really? I wouldn't have pictured Bihar as a tech hub.
Yeah, it's not Silicon Valley, but there's a growing IT sector there. They've got a young, educated population, and they're trying to bring in IT companies, make the environment more tech friendly.
Yeah.
It's early days, but there's definitely potential.
It's good to hear they're not just relying on one thing,
Yeah.
that they're exploring different options.
Diversification is key,
Yeah.
and there's a lot to be optimistic about. Bihar has this rich history of vibrant culture, and people there are determined.
It's like they're not just facing challenges, they're actively tackling them head on. There's a real sense of resilience there, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Bihar's been through a lot, ups and downs, but it's a place that always finds a way to adapt, to move forward.
It makes me want to learn more about the people there. What are their hopes, their dreams for the future?
That's a great question, and one we'll dig into more in the next part of our deep dive. We'll look at the social dynamics, the politics, all the forces shaping Bihar's destiny.
So we've covered a ton about Bihar, ancient empires, the birth of religions, that vibrant culture, and even the tough stuff they're dealing with today. But now I'm curious about the people. Like, what are their lives actually like? What's going on socially there?
It's fascinating, especially when you look at how their society is structured. It's not like everyone's the same. It's more like Bihar's this mini India, you know, all these
Really?
different cultures, languages, traditions, all mixing together.
You mentioned earlier they have Bhojpuri, Mathili, Magahi, all those language groups. So how do those differences actually play out in everyday life?
Imagine, like you're traveling through Bihar, and the festivals change, the music changes, even the food changes. That's Bihar's diversity. Each group brings something unique. Like the Bhojpuri region, they've got this awesome folk music and dance. And Maithili culture, they're known for their literature, their poetry.
Sounds like a cultural kaleidoscope, every turn you get something new. But with all that variety, are there problems with like everyone getting along?
That's a great point. Bihar, like a lot of India, has this history of social divisions, especially the caste system.
For folks who might not know about that, can you give us a quick rundown?
It's a complicated system, been around for ages. Yeah. Basically, it divided people into groups based on their jobs, their social status, and unfortunately led to a lot of discrimination, a lot of inequality.
So how does that affect Bihar today?
Things have gotten better, for sure. There's been a lot of social reform, more awareness.
Yeah.
But the effects of the caste system, they're still there. People are working hard to address it, though, trying to make things fairer, more inclusive. You've got these movements, organizations fighting for marginalized communities, promoting harmony.
It's like a reminder that progress isn't always easy. It's this constant effort. But how does all this social stuff tie into like Bihar's politics?
Oh, man, Bihar's politics are just as lively as their culture. Every election is a big deal, and political loyalties can shift pretty quickly.
We talked about Nitish Kumar, Lala Prasad Yadav before. What kind of mark have they left on Bihar's political scene?
They've both been super influential. Nitish Kumar, he's focused on development, good governance, while Lalu Prasad Yadav, he's more about social justice, fighting for lower castes. Their styles, their ideas, they're totally different, but they show you the different things people in Bihar care about, the things they want for their state.
It's like a mini version of Indian politics, right?
Yeah.
All these different ideas about how to run things, how to make progress, constantly bumping up against each other.
Totally. And that's what makes Bihar so interesting. The past and the present, tradition and modern life, they're all wrapped up together. And how that plays out, that's what's shaping Bihar's future.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here, what's the one big thing you'd want our listeners to remember about Bihar?
Bihar is a place of complexity. It's full of contradictions, but it's also got this huge potential. It's where ancient history meets modern dreams, where people face challenges head on with resilience, and where the human spirit shines through in all its different forms.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? We've seen the grand history, the vibrant culture, the struggles, and the successes.
And that's what's so great about a deep dive. You get to really see a place, go beyond the surface and understand its soul.
To everyone listening, we hope this deep dive made you curious about Bihar. It's a place worth knowing, worth understanding, maybe even worth visiting someday.
And until then, keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep those deep dives going. There's a whole world